Honestly, I'm starting to think that electric vehicles are just a disaster looking for somewhere to happen. It's every time I switch my computer on now, and bearing in mind the small percentage of electric vehicles we've got at the moment and the amount of times you see them in the news. Now this one. Dramatic pictures of electric car destroyed in fire at campsite near Dartmoor. It was engulfed by flames and reduced to a shell. Just looking at the photograph, this is the 30th of July 2025. Just looking at the photos, I mean, it's right next to the tent. I don't know when it happened at the moment. We'll see if it says, it'll say what time they were called out. But if the people were in the tent when that went up, I mean, I know I'd be making my own door. Where's the back door? Where do you want one? I'd be out the back there. But again, if they're up against the bushes there and that thing starts going up, they're dead. And not just that, look at the scorch mark. Look where the burns were. What are they? 6 times bigger than the car at least? The scorch marks? What happens if, like that Tesla the other week, the Tesla sets on fire, it sets the whole field on fire? What happens if that, I'm starting to doubt my own sanity with people keep calling me because I'm just reporting on stories, bringing to your attention the EV, the evangelists, the EV zealots are mad at me for bringing these stories to your attention because they don't want you to know. Keep quiet. What happens if that's outside your house? I mean, it's not charging, is it? There's no chargers in that field. It's just set on fire for some reason. Perhaps they got the barbecue too close to it. Who knows? Anyway, the good news is it's not an electric vehicle. It's an eclectic vehicle. An eclectic vehicle has been destroyed after a fire broke out at a campsite near Dartmoor. Fire crews were called to the scene yesterday afternoon, Tuesday, July the 29th. Pictures taken at the campsite, which has been seen below, show the car reduced to a metal shell on a patch of burnt grass in front of a tent. A statement from Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service said a crew from Moreton Hampstead have just returned from an electric vehicle fire just outside town on a campsite. They worked with colleagues from Bovey Tracy Fire Station to bring the incident under control. The BA now, and listen this, the BA teams then went through a decontamination process to ensure nothing nasty was brought back to the station and in turn back to their homes. The pictures below were taken at the scene by Moreton Hampstead Fire Station. On a campsite, where would you get water from? If the water in your fire truck runs out, which we've seen in the past, it takes sometimes 10 fire engines to put a blooming blaze out. That looks, see, the tent is actually melted too. And if you see there, it looks like the fire is actually right up to the tent. I mean, these people are lucky they've not got burnt alive. There's just nothing left. Now, to me, I'm always very wary about reporting on stories like this because somehow, I mean, that doesn't look like a diesel Range Rover to me, but somehow, a couple of days later, that's what it turns out to be. There was a diesel Range Rover parked there and it set this one on fire, but that looks to me like, with that little bit at the front, it looks like a VW ID3 and them wheels, but I couldn't say for definite. But you see, straight away, this is what leads me to believe that EV people are mad. Comments. Way more petrol fuel cars gone up in smoke and so much more flammable too. Well, they're easier to put out too. That's Tormead. Keith Burton's. There are several things wrong with the scene. Firstly, a totally destructive car fire of this nature would have caught the tree alight, or at the very least it would have burned off the leaves. Yet there is absolutely no damage. The tree is pristine. My second point is, what's the tent made from? Kevlar? Same reasoning. It would have melted. It has melted. A great deal more than is the case. Thirdly, whilst that shell belongs to a VW ID3, which is a rear-wheel drive car, the rear near side wheel is about 8 inches too far inside the wheel arch. So did the drive shaft shrink by that length due to the heat? And what about the other suspension components? Did they all get vaporised, whilst the aluminium wheels did not? Same mystery at the front. The suspension components are steel, yet they are clearly all gone. And once more, the aluminium wheels have not melted. That car did not burn when you see it pictured. And before it did burn, someone has stripped it of its drive shafts and suspension. The scorching on the ground was probably caused by a campfire that got out of hand. But is certainly not due to a car fire. And where is all that melted glass? What a load of poppycock. It's not April the 1st either. Okay, I know a bit about photography, and I know a bit about a long lens and depth of field. The longer your lens, like if you're looking at me there, the background looks quite close to me. Yeah? Where that tree is, it could be a massive tree, and I'm going to use Father Ted to explain this to this chap.
One last time. These are small. Small, far away. Forget it.
I'm going to use my depth of field on my camera, which is a long lens, but it's only a short way away from me. And you get what's called bokeh behind, and that's the background, kind of out of focus. But if you turn the aperture to say f16 or something, that background would be perfectly in focus. I wouldn't have enough light to shoot the video, but it would be perfectly in focus if I did have enough light. So don't forget Father Ted Baz. And in the meantime, let me just change this. So now I've decreased the focal length of my zoom lens, and I think you'll see the background now appears further away, and it's the same, as I say, with a zoom lens. So that might explain the tree not catching fire, because the tree is probably behind the tent. There you go, and you can clearly see it there where it's taken from. There's no trees above any burning EVs. And that is zoomed in, and the tree is in the background. So I hope that explains it for Gone for a Burton's there. He must be a real EV fanatic. "363 comments, Keith Burton's. Yes, let's burn more electric by running air conditioners, thereby increasing power station output." Oh, well, hey, don't tell Keith about my YouTube channel. I've got enough nutters leaving comments on my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.